What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Thursday night's Late Night Agenda. I'm your host Craig, and as always, you're very welcome along to the show. We have lots of stuff to get through tonight. We will, of course, have a little look back to Liverpool's 3-0 loss away against Barcelona last night. We'll have a chat about the Europa League. We'll have a look ahead, of course, to the game against Newcastle, as this is our preview show. So I'll take you guys through my team selection. We'll see how everybody's feeling. We'll get some score predictions as well. Look, there's not much for us to say. I'm just going to wait for the chat to fill up. I've got my team prediction up there. As always, guys, look, bear with me. It is a team prediction. It's tough to second guess Jurgen Klopp when it comes to team selection. We've also got to keep in mind the fact that the Reds have that second leg of that semi-final coming up next week as well. So there's only a few days rest for the guys. I can see the chat starting to fill up now. Let's say hello to everybody. Proper Skills, Imran's in, Scotty's in, Riley's in, Stephen Richards is in, Tom Jones is in, Sean W is in, Liz Golden is in. How are we? Thank you for coming back. I hope you guys enjoyed the video with expressions earlier on. He's a good dude, as I said. He's lots and lots of fun. It's always a pleasure catching up with him. Let's start by going through my predicted 11 for today. You can see it there for today, for Saturday. For those wondering, it's a 7:45pm kickoff on Saturday night for the Reds away at Newcastle. A trip up to Newcastle is always a difficult game, but nothing but 3 points will do for the Reds as we look to keep the pressure on Manchester City. They are, of course, taking on Leicester on Monday. So it's up to Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp to put that pressure on Manchester City by getting that 3 points at Newcastle. Easier said than done. It's not an easy place to go. The 11 that I've guessed with, now bear with me on this one. This is an absolute guess. Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson, Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino and Mohamed Salah. I'm guessing that Firmino will be okay to play the full 90 come Saturday. I don't think Jurgen Klopp can really afford to rest him and look ahead to Tuesday. I don't think he can do that. I think he has to play him. Nothing but 3 points will do here. Liverpool are in the kind of position now where, even though it might be unlikely we'll win the league, we've got to keep going. We've got to keep pressing. Barcelona's second leg, 3-0's a massive amount of turnover. Still, it's achievable. We can do it, and Jurgen Klopp has to believe that we can do it. So I can't really see too many changes. I've gone with a 2-0 scoreline prediction as well for the Reds. Again, I'd love to know your thoughts, your team selection. Right, who have we got in? We've said our hellos. Rafa will let us win. We're nice and safe. He won't, mate. He really won't. And you know what? I wouldn't respect him if he did. Rafael Benitez is an absolute legend at our club, of course, and I love the man for not only what he's done on the field, but off the field as well, with his charity work as well. Douglas James Horn is in. Hello, Musa is in from Maldives. How are you, buddy? Ben Rolfe is in as well. Any news on Keita's injury? Yes, I do, unfortunately. Bad news to start with tonight. Unfortunately, Keita looks like he's going to miss the remainder of the season. He went off with a groin injury last night, and reports seem to suggest that he'll be out of action for around 4 weeks, which will, of course, rule him out for the rest of the season. Not the news we wanted to hear. Naby Keita had started to really come into his own at Liverpool, started to play really well. We'd seen glimpses of the player who we believe we were getting from Leipzig. It's fucking devastating. I'm not going to lie. It's horrible to hear him missing the end of the season. There's some big games coming up. He could have done with him as well next week against Barcelona. But look, unfortunately, ladies and gents, it is what it is. We've still got a good midfield options. We've got Henderson, we've got Fabinho, Milner's there, Gini Wijnaldum's there. You could get the last 20-30 minutes out of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain as well. I don't think he'd be ready to start just yet. I wish I had better news though on Keita. I was dreading saying this. It was the first thing on my list of notes, and I didn't really want to talk about it because there's enough bad news going around at the minute, isn't there, to talk about Keita and stuff. I want to give you guys some positives. Pres Mane is going 3-1 to the Reds. Messi should be banned for punching Fabinho, said James Parks. I know what you're talking about. I mean, anybody who's seen the replay, look, I want to start off by saying the free kick itself from Lionel Messi and the goal, world class, absolutely unbelievable stuff. But he did jump into to Fabinho, and he did seem to punch him in the back of the head. Went unseen by the referee. He gave the free kick, and as we said, the rest is history. It was just wonderful from Messi, but yeah, it is shitty. It is shitty when you see the replays of it. But we can't change it. It is what it is. I still can't get my head around how the fuck that was a 3-0 game last night. I just cannot get my head around it at all. Just can't. Look back over the game, watched it from start to finish again, and still feel like we were the better side for at least 70 minutes of that game. But what I feel doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the score, and it was 3-0. I'm going for the same with a 4-0 win for the Reds, said Scotty. Douglas James Horn said, I fancy a 2-1 win. I think Perez will score for Newcastle. He is 6 in his last 4. And going for Mane. He's a little bit of an unlikely scorer. Genie versus his own club as well. Prez Mane's gone for 5-1 to the Reds against Barcelona. Do you know what? Anything is possible, Prez, mate. Anything. You can't rule out anything with these Reds. If we concede, it is going to have to be the scoreline that Prez has suggested there. It's going to have to be the 5. Unfortunately, Ben, yes, Keita is injured, buddy, sadly. Adrian Hall, how are you, buddy? Great to see you back in. Liverpool 5 times said, Bobby, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Keita outshowed a lack of squad depth. We still need a big transfer window in the summer. I can understand where you're coming from, mate. I really can. We've been a little bit unlucky that we've had Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain out all season as well. Gomez has been out for a good chunk of the season. We are lacking a massive amount of depth up front, I think. I mean, the drop off from Firmino, Mane and Salah to Origi and Sturridge, with all due respect, is a massive drop off. So we do need to bring in an attacking player. I'd love to see a number 10 in as well. Somebody to pull the strings in behind. But that depth, it is needed, you're right. As much as we have strengthened their squad, and we do have a better squad, and I'd say a stronger squad, a more in-depth squad than previous seasons, if you want to compete in 4 competitions and you want to try and win them all, yeah, you're right, you do need more depth. Got Ryan Brewster coming through as well, which is important to remember. A couple of other younger players, Keanu Hoover, Bobby Duncan to look at. Might be a little bit too soon for those two for next season, but definitely players to keep an eye on. Arsenal 3-1 up, Imran. Thank you, mate. It was 2-1 before I came upstairs. Lacazette should have had 3 or 4, to be fair. Will said, it's not the trophies to brag, it's for the joy of transition from hopelessness to belief, the pride in seeing your boys progress, and for the cold nights we celebrated in the Europa League. Yeah, it was there was some fucking horrible nights and some great nights in the Europa League, to be fair. I mean, who could ever forget the game against Borussia Dortmund at Anfield? That was sensational. Yibber, I'm very good, thank you, mate. I hope you are as well. Prez reckons that Oxlade-Chamberlain will score against Barcelona. I wouldn't rule it out, buddy. I would not rule it out. I love you too, Scotty. Or Scott said, I love you, Craig. I love you too, mate. Thank you. Really kind of you. Messi is magic. He is. I mean, he's the greatest of our generation. Nothing else we can say about that one. We could talk about his rolling around. We could talk about the shithousing by Barcelona. But you know what? It happens. It happens in the sport. I like a bit of shithousery, personally. If we score 4 goals, we'll go through, said James Parks. Yeah, not if they score 1, buddy. If it was 4-1, we go out on away goals. Back again and not as pissed, said James. That's alright, James. You're allowed to treat yourself every now and again, mate, and not in the usual way we talk about treating yourself, but you are allowed to do that as well. Not to worry if Kate is out. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is back, said Niall. Liz said, that sucks about Naby. He's just found his form again. I hope everybody watched the Expressions video. If you haven't, please do check it out, because I mean, I love chatting with him. He's so much fun. If he doesn't make you smile, then I give up. I don't know what will. Messi didn't do much besides that beautiful free kick. Second goal was pure luck. I said the same thing, Tim. I've seen all these headlines in the newspapers going about Messi, 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 Messi. And look, free kick, wonderful. Second goal, or his first goal, Barca's second goal, right place, right time, took it well. No arguments. Took it on his chest, banged it in. But I don't think he dictated that game one bit. He settled it with his 2 goals. You can't lie about that one. But I don't think Messi had a massive influence on that game whatsoever, other than the goals, which sounds ridiculous to say. That's football, mate. If we play like that at Anfield, we'll smash them, said Niall. Anthony said, hey everyone, a bit harsh 3-0 last night. It was, mate. It was fucking harsh. It was. I can't get my head around it. I mean, you hear banter from opposition fans for the past 24 hours saying, 3-0, you're shy. But I mean, fuck's sake, if you watch that game, and even Klopp said it was one of our better European away performances. Imran reckons the Reds can get 7 on Tuesday. I love your optimism, buddy. We needed a Dortmund-inspired comeback versus Barcelona. We've done it before, said Douglas James Horn. They were very poor, I thought. The fans were on their case and they knew that we were dominating, said Niall. Would you love to have De Ligt in our team? Anthony Cronin asks. Yes, buddy. I would absolutely adore to have Matthias De Ligt in this team. Yeah, he's class. He's class. Just seeing him in that game again at Spurs, he just oozes quality, doesn't he? Like Van Dijk, although he's only, 19 years of age, something like that. How long has Keita gone for? It looks like about 4 weeks. 4 weeks is what I've read so far, but with these things, nothing is set in stone. You've got to, give it a week either way just to be on the safe side. Imran reckons the Reds should go for Werner, De Ligt and Zaha. Do you know what, mate? I'd be very happy with that for a transfer window. I think the 3 players that you've named there, I will be more than happy to see them in the Liverpool shirt. How does everybody else feel? Brian asked me earlier on, actually, could he come on and do a preview show with me for the transfer window? So as soon as the season ends, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get Brian on and we're going to talk about transfers, who we'd like to see in, who we'd like to see out. And more of these type of videos you'll be getting over the summer. You'll have our nightly streams as well, but we're going to try and give you guys some more shorter videos like the one with expressions earlier on. Because I know sometimes people haven't got 90 minutes to come on and spend watching me talking shite. So maybe 20, 15 minute videos over the summer as well as the nightly streams will hopefully keep everybody entertained. Sturridge is done, he's no more to give, said Celtic CC. Great content, keep it up, said Will. Thank you, Will. Really appreciate that, buddy. It's been such a fun year on here. It's our first season, as I keep saying, but I couldn't have asked for a better season. I couldn't have asked to have better subscribers, to have gotten to know better people. It's been so much fun. Liverpool 5 times said, just a quick shout out to Jason Cundy for being a tosser. Yeah, he's an absolute gobshite, mate. We've spoken about him numerous times on it. He is just, I'm a mouthy fucker, and I know I'm a mouthy fucker, but he even puts me to shame with how gobby he is. I don't like that guy one bit. Dylan said, after the season the Reds have had, we might not win anything totally gutted, but how can you bounce back next season? Put it this way, Dylan, try and be pragmatic about it, mate. Look at last season, Champions League final, of course, we got to, which was great, but look at the league form, and now look at how far we've progressed this season. And as I keep saying, if I offered any of you 95 to 97 points at the start of the season, I would have bitten my own hand off for it, and I'm sure most people would have agreed. It's just unfortunate. The semi-final of the Champions League happened. I mean, that's still to play for in the second leg. The league, there's 2 games left for each side, and we may end up with nothing this season, buddy. We might do, but I don't know. I still find it really hard to be disappointed. All I can ask for as a fan, of course you want to put trophies in the cabinet. I mean, I'm not shying away from that fact. And Jurgen Klopp doesn't get a free pass for the entire length of time he's at Liverpool. But I just want to see progression every season. I think we've seen that every year Jurgen Klopp has been here. If there's no trophies this season, then yes, the next season you have to look at putting something in the trophy cabinet. And then, yeah, for me, I can kind of let this season go. Because it's been so good, we've hit so high with regards to points and stuff. A good run in the Champions League again. Next season though, I want to be up there and I want to be putting trophies in the cabinet. Luka Jovic said Vigo is a good transfer option. Again, linked to Barcelona, signed from Benfica for like €7 million or something by Frankfurt, which is ridiculous. Trent would have been a good option yesterday, said Fabian Black. Indeed he would, mate. And a couple of people were screaming for him. I always thought he'd start with Gomez, but I didn't realise that we'd be so on the front foot in that game. And if I had have realised we'd have been so on the front foot, then I, like all of you guys, would have loved for Trent to have been on there, because the way he can put a ball into a box, the way he can go past his man, I think he would have given us another option. I was even surprised that we didn't see him for the last 20-25 minutes. LFC Tim said, we'll need to be on top of our game if there's any chance of going through, especially defensively. I just think we can't concede. That's what I believe. Not getting that away goal last night. A 3-1 loss might have looked bad on paper, but I tell you what, a 3-1 loss and a 2-0 win at home and we're through. It's just that the fact that Salah didn't score, Milner had a couple of shots saved, Mane missed a shot in the first half. Just that away goal, I think, is the thing that really will come back to haunt us. Even if we had been 3-0 down and Salah had scored there, we could have been right back in it. And I know there's an argument to say Dembele could have scored at the end. It could have been 4-0 and absolutely out of sight. But, I mean, small margins. We've spoken about it all season. Small margins in this game. M. Kelly said, congratulations on 12k. Love your videos. Can't wait for 100k. Thank you, buddy. God, can you imagine 100k? That would be nuts. If this channel ever reaches 100k, well, we get our first YouTube award actually if you get to 100,000 subscribers, so that would be great. Be nice to put that one up on. Well, I've always said to Connor, actually, if we get the award, I just want a photo with it, and then he can have it because he deserves it. Connor's the real brains behind Anfield Agenda. I'm just a mouthpiece that sits here reading out your comments. We're only 4 subscribers, by the way, off 12,800. So if you're watching, 4 more people out there, hit that subscribe button and we can go past our next target on the road to 13k, which is so fucking class. Dave said, we're in a great position going forward, Reds, which absolutely we are, buddy. Can't argue with that. Do you rest Mo and Mane to play against Barca? I don't think you can, Scotty. I understand where you're coming from, buddy, but what would you do if we rested Mo and Mane and we got a draw against Newcastle and then Manchester City draw points on Monday night? There'd be no forgiving ourselves for that. You got to go full strength, or as full strength as you can, and just keep reminding these players that there's only a couple more games left in the season. Put your bodies on the line, give it 100%. You've got plenty of time to rest then when the season's over. And I'm sure that this is the part of the season where the sports science department, the medical team, the masseuses, the nutritionists, they're all earning their money at this point of the season. HYS Football said, David De Gea has apparently agreed a contract with Paris Saint-Germain. I'm so pissed. I had seen rumours, mate, linking him to PSG, and I never have any respect for a player going and signing for Paris Saint-Germain. I know he was a little bit unlucky that if he was going to leave United, there was a lot of rumours around that it might have been Madrid, but since Courtois has gone there, that kind of dries up the position available at Madrid. Barcelona have a very good goalkeeper. They're not going to be going and signing him. So there is a limited amount of clubs, I suppose, that can afford to buy David De Gea. And maybe he's just looking at his options and they're limited. And he's thinking to himself, I stay at United. And with all due respect, United don't look like they're going to be back at the top anytime soon. It'll be a couple of years of rebuilding there at least, I'd say. You might get Champions League football, that could happen. But even at that, to be really challenging again, I think there's a bit of a rebuilding job. And De Gea probably looking at it and thinking, I've been here long enough, I need to move on. But PSG for me, it's a shithouse club, to be honest. I don't like it. So much plaudits about Messi last night and nothing about his rolling around on the pitch. Yeah, that pisses me off as well. And I'm not talking about Messi, just in general, the way any situation can be just shown in one light and not the other. Messi, free kick, outstanding. I've said it many, many times. Out of this world, amazing. Very few players in the world could do what he did. But the rolling around the ground, this to the referee looking for cards as well, jumping into Fabinho. I mean, you can call it gamesmanship, you can call it what you want. I just always remember Lionel Messi not being that guy. I remember Messi taking his fouls, getting back up and playing, getting the shit kicked out of him, and I always admired him that he jumped back up and just got on with things and kept playing. In the past couple of years, I don't know if it's been a Neymar influence or whatever, but he seems to have changed that little bit. It doesn't take away from the fact that he is the greatest footballer of our generation. You can't argue against that, and we've all enjoyed watching Messi, I'm sure. But yeah, last night, look, it sticks in the throat. Maybe if we got a draw, we wouldn't be feeling as bad as we do about it. I'll take the late Luka Jovic in the transfer window, said Leitrim for Sam. The tackle before the Messi free kick was bullshit. Messi jumped into Fabinho. What the fuck, said Proper Skills. Yeah, he did. And we were really unlucky with the second goal as well, because Fabinho made a really good tackle. The ball then ended up in the air for Suarez. He needed, hits the crossbar, comes back down. And Messi reacted quicker than any of our defenders. You've got to give him credit for that one, but even that, the way the tackle from Fabinho broke to Suarez, we were just getting nothing last night. No luck whatsoever. And you need that. You need a bit of luck, especially away at a place like the Nou Camp. Liverpool 5 times said, next season we need to carry on challenging for the league, try and win a cup, as well as seeing how we get on in Europe. We'll be competing every season without a doubt, said LFC Tim. Barca are diving cheats as well, he goes on to say. Let me just get back. There's a couple more comments I've missed out on, so let me just scroll back up. Every time I think I'm catching up with the chat, I realise I'm actually fucking miles behind. Okay, I'm going to have to call it... There we go. John Gott said, "Hey mate, good about the result last night. Still have the second leg. If we can beat Newcastle and Leicester can pick up a point at least, I'll be a very happy man again." Do you know what, John? This is probably going to sound weird, but if we beat Newcastle and Leicester take a point off Manchester City, I don't want to say I don't give a fuck what happens on Tuesday, but everything is flipped and it's all about Wolves then for me. I mean, yeah, we got to go and try against Barcelona, but if Leicester take anything off Manchester City, we're all going to be in a very different place come Monday night. You still make Manchester City favourites, massive favourites, but Leicester are capable of it, and let's just hope that they can do something. It's an uphill task, but you know what? You got to keep doing our bits and putting the 3 points on the board, and that starts again against Newcastle Saturday night. This year's just a practice year, next year's the real season, said Press Mane. To win trophies this season will be desperately, or not to win trophies this season will be desperately disappointing, said Elijah John 5. Does the team deserve trophies? I could say yes, but if you win them, you deserve them. That's the honest, blunt answer to it. Like, you can say we deserve whatever, but if you finish behind Manchester City in the league, then Manchester City deserve to win the league. If you get knocked out in Europe, we get knocked out in Europe. I mean, we've had a good season, but I suppose sometimes you just don't get what you think you deserve. Mark Hendley said, "Craig, did you hear about Rabiot?" I did. I actually have notes here on that one, and thank you for reminding me, Mark. Where is it? Yeah, so there's been a rumour floating around today that the Reds are leading the race to sign Adrian Rabiot. The reports suggest his proposed move to Barcelona has fallen through and that he'd like to make the Reds his next destination. I don't know what to say about this one. I know people are going to say we don't need Rabiot. I feel like if a player like him is available on a free transfer, and I know people think there's been reports that he might be a bit of a troublemaker, I don't know. I can't speak on that. I don't know the guy. But if he shows interest in a club like Liverpool, what is he, 23, 24 years of age, experienced, international, playing at the top level already for numerous years, I think we'd be fools not to at least look at the situation. It did look like he was going to go to Barcelona, but as the reports suggest, that seems to have fallen through. Now, I don't know how true this is. It's silly season with transfers, so you've got to take everything with a massive pinch of salt. Let's go win big on Saturday against Newcastle, said Liam, then go into the second leg buzzing. I'm getting a new bed. Good man. I hope you enjoy it. We really should have put one away. It's going to kill us, said Brian Morrissey. What else we got? Claire's in. Claire, how are you? Why didn't we play Trent against Barca? Injury? Nope. No, he was on the bench, mate. As I said in the week building up, Klopp just sometimes likes to play Gomez in these games. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't know what to say. Last night, I don't think Gomez did too much wrong, but I definitely think Trent would have been more effective. As I said, I didn't realise we were going to be so much on the front foot last night. You don't expect to have so much possession and dominate play as much as we did at times last night away against Barcelona. It just goes to show you how fired up those players were. I have a feeling that after so much animosity towards us and the vitriol from rival fans, that there's a twist to come. I hope so, Elijah John. I really hope so. A little bit more transfer news. Tommy McCulloch mentions it there about Ryan Kent. Where is it here? So Ryan Kent has confirmed that he wants to leave Liverpool and Anfield in the summer. The 22-year-old is enjoying an impressive loan spell so far this season up at Rangers, and Steven Gerrard really hopes to sign him on a permanent basis. I have a couple of quotes here from Ryan Kent. He said, "I want to kickstart my career somewhere now. I'm tired of changing clubs each year. I want to settle down somewhere. Liverpool have been good to me, but the enjoyment factor of going back there each year and doing well in pre-season and going back out on loan, it's a repetitive cycle. I've 3 years left on my contract at Liverpool, so there's not much I can really do. Whether or not I get opportunities to go elsewhere during the summer, I'd want a club with ambition, a club that's driven on getting silverware." It's no secret that Rangers want to make that move permanent. I don't know. I think I've seen figures ranging from 7 to 12 million mentioned for Ryan Kent. I've no idea what Rangers' budget is. I've no idea if Ryan Kent would be happy to go up there and stay at Rangers. He seems to have had a good season up there with them. What do you guys think? Let me know. It's your show. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this one. And thank you for Tommy for bringing that up. Any normal season, you'd be champions with 97. Ridiculous, you could get 97 and not win it. To them, the UFC gamer. If we keep winning the league games, we win the league. I mean, not this season, but well, if we keep winning our games, we need Manchester City to drop points. 2 more games to go for each team. Anything is possible. Messi is so dirty, said Alex Rodriguez. McDason said, I hope to God they don't go for the Ajax keeper. I think you're talking about United there as a replacement. I might be wrong, mate. Sorry, I'm assuming. United I've seen linked to try and get what's his face Atletico. Fucking how can I not remember his name? He's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. This is what happens to me when I come on here. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Sorry, drawing a blank again. I'm just so tired. I just can't fucking think. What's his name? Let me scroll down. Somebody has it in the chat here for me. Jan Oblak, that's the one. Sorry, yeah, Jan Oblak. He's 120 million release clause or something in his new contract, I think. So let's wait and see if United are willing to spend that much on a keeper. I've no idea what they get for De Gea with a year left on his deal. Figures around 90 were mentioned, but whether that's true or not, I don't know. Imran said Messi's goal was world class, but I trust Salah to produce some magic at Anfield. Mackenzie 1-1. Do you reckon for Saturday? Is that your prediction for Saturday, mate? Yeah, we can't afford to drop points though, but it's not easy to go up to Newcastle. Joanne said, I thought you were having the night off, Craig. So did I, Joanne, but I thought to myself, do you know what, you're doing the video with expressions, you're going to be set up anyway. I might as well go on and do the late night show as well. And I like chatting to you people. What can I say, Joanne? I like coming on and chatting with everybody. Hey Craig, don't respect asking for yellow cards. Glad the Liverpool players didn't play that way, said Cape Town Muslim. It's something that you see a lot in Europe with players, mate, asking for yellow cards and going down easier, and any contact are going to the ground. It's creeped in a little bit in the Premier League as well, but I still think there's a bit of a distance between the two. Arnav said, hey Craig, do you think we can overcome a 3-0 deficit? I think we can score 3 goals, but it'll be tough not to concede. Just like you've said there, buddy, I feel the very same way. I fully believe we can score 3 goals at Anfield. It's just not conceding, because if you concede 1, you've got to go and win 5-1, which is ridiculous to ask against Barcelona. So you'd hope we get off to a quick start, get a goal maybe inside the first 15-20 minutes, put pressure on, see what happens. Maybe you nick a second before half time, and if you do, then it's game on. Beat Newcastle, put the pressure on them plastics to keep winning, said Mr. Smith. Vardy's going to have a party, said Douglas James Horn. If that happens, Craig, you play the kids against Barca. I don't know. No, probably not. I'd still reckon we go full tilt if it did happen. I hope Jamie Vardy's having a party like Douglas has said. Come on Leicester, and come on the barrage, Mr. Rogers. God, yeah. It's funny, I love watching people's avatars change on social media. I mean, it was Burnley, it was fucking United before that. Some people, well, maybe not avatars changing for United, but people want United to get a result. Now it's Leicester, of course. Let's face it, every Liverpool fan will take the Premier League over the Champions League, so I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I think, well, I can't speak for every Liverpool fan, but yeah, I think most of us would absolutely love the Premier League. Craig, mate, I honestly hope if we were like 3-2, hang on, Craig, I honestly hope if we were up like 3-2, Klopp brings off Mo Mane for a rest. I don't know, mate, honestly. I don't know. You're taking a massive gamble there. If this is the Newcastle game you're talking about, you're taking a massive gamble of conceding a late equaliser then. Claire said it was hard to take, no two ways about it. I don't know how those players picked themselves up after losing something like that. They played so well and got bugger all. They've got to pick themselves up, Claire, because they know that there's a possible Premier League at stake, and nothing would make them feel worse about themselves than if they drop points at Newcastle on Saturday and City drop points on Monday. They would never forgive themselves for that. So they've got to go up to Newcastle and they've got to fight for everything like they did at Barcelona and hope that they get the result. And as I said, I've predicted a 2-0 win for the Reds against Newcastle. It's not going to be easy. I'd love to know your thoughts as well. You can see my team selection. I'll just run through it one more time. Alisson in goal. Trent at right back, Matip, Van Dijk and Robertson. Although I wouldn't be surprised to see Lovren come in, now that I think about it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lovren partner Van Dijk, but I'll stick with what I have for the minute. Midfield, Fabinho, Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum, and then up front Mane, Firmino and Salah. And that is, of course, hoping that Bobby's available to play the 90 minutes. Going out till I think Saturday's going to be very tight. I'm going 2-1 to us. If Keita didn't get injured, do you think the result would have been different? Who knows? Who knows? What annoys me more about that, apart from the obvious injury, is Rakitic, that was a yellow all day long. And I know I went on about the referee during the watch along yesterday, but there was one incident where Keita was pulled back by his jersey. The referee looks at him and shrugs his shoulders as if to go, oh, I'm not giving a free kick here, and it was a blatant free. There was 2 or 3 occasions where Barcelona players stopped Liverpool on a counter-attack by pulling them back. Again, no yellows. And then that fell on Naby Keita, no yellow. And yeah, he goes off and he misses the last month of the season. It was a definite yellow card. Rakitic, he scissored him, and it was a blatant yellow card. That's what annoyed me last night about that situation in particular. The atmosphere at Anfield on Tuesday will bring the house down, said Tony. We're not the first team to have been beaten 3-0 to Nou Camp. United, City, Chelsea and Arsenal got beat 4-1, said Douglas James Horn. Mark Bullen said, Craig, how many seasons can we go without Klopp winning anything? It's a fair question, Mark. And people have said to me before, there's a fine line in our fan base between the gobshites that say Klopp out, and for me, they're idiots. Anybody that's going Klopp out is an idiot. But he's also not infallible, as you've said, Mark, and there does have to be questions asked about how long is acceptable not to put a trophy in the cabinet. I've spoken about progression, but at the same time, we're at the point now where this can probably be the last season where we're willing to look at progression. Next season on, we need to win trophies. I think that's fair to say. Now, if you don't win trophies, do you look at the manager's position? For me, no, still not next season. Because I can't see or think of anybody who could come in and do a better job at this moment in time. That's just my opinion anyway. I love Klopp that much that it's going to be very hard for me to turn on Jurgen Klopp ever. But at the same time, I'm not blinded by my admiration for the man. The club always comes first, and we do need to start putting trophies in the cabinet. So it's a very difficult, tricky question, Mark. It's tough, man. I mean, we could say if we win the FA Cup and finish 5th in the league, none of us are going to be happy, are we? Connor said, reports gone around that the Qataris are going to abandon PSG. It's always the danger, man. And it's the same with Manchester City as well. If the owners get a pain in their arse and just decide they want to put the money elsewhere, they can pull the plug at any minute, and that could leave them up shit creek. Let's just wait and see what happens. I've no idea. I haven't read those rumours myself, mate, but thank you for bringing it up, and I will definitely be reading up on it after the stream. Arsenal win 3-1 versus Valencia. Looks like Arsenal versus Chelsea final. And if the winner, how does that affect 5th position? I think, from my limited understanding of this, buddy, let's take Chelsea as an example. If Chelsea won the Europa League and they finished 4th in the Premier League, then as far as I'm aware, that doesn't change anything. It's just Chelsea and the other 3 teams in the Champions League next season. If Chelsea were to finish 5th and win the Europa League, then they would go into the Champions League as well as the other 4 teams in the Premier League that have finished 1 to 4. Now that's my limited understanding of it, unless Spurs were to go on and win the Champions League but be outside of the Europa League or the Champions League positions. It does get a little bit complicated, but I think it does depend on where they finish in the league. So say Arsenal wins it and finish 4th, then I think it's just them 4 anyway going in, and I don't think there's an extra spot for anybody going into the Champions League. That's my understanding of it, but of course I could well be wrong. Andrew said, if Rabiot doesn't have the right mentality, then Klopp won't want him. Absolutely spot on. And that's the same with any player, mate. If we get to the point where we're signing a player, then as Andrew's pointed out, you can be absolutely sure that Jurgen Klopp has run the rule over him and has spoken to him, and that feels like he definitely has to use a Brendan Rodgers word here, character to come in and be a part of the squad. Because he's not going to fuck up the balance in the squad, because it seems to be really good. Rabiot won a freeze and no-brainer, said Mr. Smith. They're never really frees though. As much as we think of them as frees, he's going to want a big signing on bonus, or else he's going to want that signing on bonus paid in wages over the course of his 3 or 4 years at the club. So there'll still be a significant amount of money spent. Barca have a track record of throwing leagues away in the Champions League. I think at Anfield we have a chance. A tribute gamer. Jurgen Klopp has plenty of goodwill in the bank. He's not getting sacked even if we don't win anything with him. So gonads. Craig, do you think that spells the end of Grujic if he went for Rabiot? Nope, I don't, Mark, because you're still talking about Grujic going out on loan for one more season. I know I've said similar of Neves, and maybe I'm being a bit hypocritical here. No, yeah, maybe I'm wrong on this, because I thought about Neves coming in and I said maybe that signalled the end for Grujic, but you've put a very fair question to me there, and the more I think back about it, maybe I'm being blinded by a transfer fee here. No, I do honestly feel that the club rate Marco Grujic, and I think he'll be back. I think he'll have one more season out alone and then he'll be back, but you have made me think back there. Maybe I was wrong, mate, in what I've thought about earlier on. Because people said to me last night, what if Ruben Neves came in? They gave me the same scenario, and I said that would probably signal the end of Grujic, but as I said, I think I'm being blinded by a transfer fee there. And thank you. Always good to you guys make me think. Tonight's chat is like being in one of those flotation tanks at those posh spas compared to last night. Yeah, last night was tough in the chat, particularly during the watch along. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. There was some horrible comments going in there as well. And it's not banter comments, as Brian's alluding to. Like, these were really horrible comments, and not just comments that were aimed at me, comments that were aimed about Liverpool fans in general. And yeah, I lost a little bit of admiration and respect for Barcelona's fans last night. And look, I know I can't tar all their fans with one brush, but the ones that were in our chat were fucking horrible. Craig, do you think Trent should have come on with Bobby? Yes, I do. I think he should have come on for the last 20-25 minutes. Craig, do you think... I've done that one already. Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm reading Cunflap Steamer's question. I have to read it out because it's so fucking funny. I've booked a hotel room in Liverpool and ordered in 2 specialists from a site on the dark web for the Wolves game. Anyone want? Maybe we could stream it. I don't even know, mate, what's going on there, or what you want, what these 2 specialists are. But I'll leave that to you, and I don't want it to be streamed, mate. I don't want to see the footage of whatever you're thinking about there. Chelsea drew 1-1 with Eintracht Frankfurt, which is a decent result away from home. 1-1 draw. They dominated that game in terms of possession and chances as well. Trent would have made Mo, Sadio, Milner, Bobby score last night. He's rested and fresh for Newcastle now anyway. Tom Jones said, I don't want to say I told you so, Craig, but I'll be up in your face, but I did say a couple of streams ago, if Messi gets a free kick, he'll bury you. Mate, you're saying that as if I said to you that you're talking shit. I've been saying all week that you can't give away cheap free kicks around the penalty area for Messi. He's ridiculous. As you pointed out, he's ridiculous, like. Right, and I mean that in a good way, like he's ridiculously good. Yeah, you can't. I said it myself, you can't give away free kicks around the edge of the box. But I honestly thought that was too far out. I didn't think he was going to score. I was shocked. I thought it was maybe 5 or 6 yards too far out to really trouble Alisson, but it was just top bins, and proper top bins, like. Kent and Wilson not good enough, said Mr. Smith. Premier League topic said, have you heard Manchester City are the most valuable club in the Premier League according to the University of Liverpool? I'm trying to I don't know what to say. I mean, you immediately think United are, because United are the richest club in the world apparently, but then you think about maybe assets. Manchester City don't own their stadium, so I don't know how. I know they've got that wonderful campus around the Etihad, but if they don't own their stadium, they don't own that real estate, I fail to see how they can be the most valuable club in the Premier League. But look, obviously the people at, maybe it was John Moore's University or something in Liverpool who've done the research are eminently more qualified than me to talk about this, so I would like to read up on it, and I will have a Google about it afterwards, mate. Thank you. Mossy's in. Mossy, how are you? Brendan is interested in Kent. Maybe, boy, might be a good move for him. I've also seen some good news for you, buddy. Manchester City have said that they've no interest in a left back or in going after Ben Chilwell, so that's some good news for you as a Leicester fan. Connor's in. Connor Niblett said, Craig, hope you're well. I agree with your line of prediction, apart from I think Gomez might play in the centre-back role instead of Matip. I actually think Lovren might do it now, Connor, now that I've thought about it more. Yeah, I think maybe we'll see Dejan Lovren come in and play alongside Virgil van Dijk to give Matip a rest. Wasn't United reserves your first team that drew 0-0? Don't know what that one's about. Sassy talking to somebody else. Rangers can't afford Kent, said Lewis. Okay, sorry. Again, just trying to keep up with the chat. Right, let's go from here. MUFC Gamer said, anybody who wants Klopp out is a moron. If he left, who would replace him? I haven't got a clue, mate. Nobody I can think of that I'd want to come in and replace him. I think in about 20 years' time, Liverpool will be champions. It's got to happen. It will happen. It'll happen. Barca are not good away from home, but do you think, or would you put, or excuse me, but you wouldn't put money on Messi not scoring, said Claire. Yeah, I mean, to keep a clean sheet against Barcelona is going to be difficult. I don't know what else to say. Craig, fell for you and all our fans last night with the troll, said Mark. I'm alright, Mark. It doesn't really bother me too much. I mean, yeah, I go off at some of them, but it's water off a duck's back to me. I just don't like them abusing other people or... I mean, come in and call me a prick, that's fine. I can take it. I'm big, bold and ugly enough to take any abuse that comes my way, but... I don't like other people or Liverpool fans being generalised by these trolls. That gets to me more than anybody having to go at me because, as I said, I'm used to it. I know when as soon as I put myself on YouTube, I knew that I'm going to be up. I'm going to be fair game, and that's cool. I'm all right with that. Some of our fans of Barcelona made me feel ashamed, said LFC Tim. Yeah, there was a couple of gobshites, Tim, that did make a show of the club. And there's no two ways about that. And I can't, in good conscience, come on and talk about other clubs' fans doing shitty stuff and not mention our own fans. Again, like any other club, it was a small minority. I just don't understand what the fuck they were thinking. Why throw that gentleman into the fucking fountain? Like, I know it's been blown out of all proportion, but at the same time, it's still stupid. I mean, if you're going to do that, fuck one of your mates into the fountain. Do you know, somebody that you know, somebody that's on the piss over there with you, rather than somebody that nobody has a clue who it is. Somebody said to me last night in the chat that it was a pickpocket. I don't know. I've no proof of that. I've not seen anything of that. Klopp is building Liverpool, no arrogance, just a chance to build something real, said Brian Morrissey. Dara said, a great player, but Messi embarrassed himself with his rolling around, yet no pundit spoke about it. The video of Rio Ferdinand and Lineker celebrating was one that drove some Liverpool fans mad. Now, as you know, Lineker played for Barcelona. I can understand him celebrating. He has ties to the club. Rio Ferdinand, I don't know what the fuck. Maybe he's just celebrating because he hates United or he just loves Lionel Messi. I don't know. But either way, it was weird looking at him celebrating. MUFC Gamer said, from a rival fan, Klopp's the best thing that's ever happened to Liverpool. Well, in recent memory, yes. I mean, we've had some fantastic managers over the years, but yeah, over the last few years, Klopp's definitely been top of that list. Got crazy last night, Craig. Was the worst we've had to deal with. Yeah, it was fucking sick, Joanne, to be fair. Yeah, last night was everything that's wrong with the internet on a stream, to be fair. And it's the first time it's happened to us on a stream, and I've never had people contact me afterwards and say that they actually... yeah, that they struggled at times in there with some of the shit last night. But thank you to all the mods for kicking ass as always. You guys saved the channel time and time again. I do love and appreciate every single one of you and the work and the effort that you put in, because I can't underplay the value of you guys removing some of these comments, because I tend to just read down through comments and I can be halfway through a comment before I realise sometimes it's something wrong, or I'm reading something that I shouldn't be saying. So you guys pulling out these comments and removing the people from the chat, it not just helps me, it just helps the whole channel going forward. So thank you again for all your hard work. Craig, you need to start getting your badges. Klopp not going to be there forever. I'm going to actually probably get my badges regardless. It's something I should have done years ago. I'll only be able to get to a certain level, of course, because I won't be able to afford to go higher, but I could certainly do the first few badges, and I've no excuse. There are places around me that I could do the courses in. The FAI have a few places within an hour's drive of my house where I could do my badges. So yeah, I really should. It's something I've always wanted to do. FSG love Klopp, he ain't going anywhere. So Douglas James Horn. Brenda will have to do us a favour on Monday. Say Claire, come on. Imagine if we draw with City, how buzzing the lads would be on Tuesday for the Barca match. Oh, I've pictured the stream where they drop points. I'm not even going to lie. In my head, United, I pictured what I'd do afterwards. Burnley, I pictured what I'd do. Leicester, I'm picturing what I'd do. Yeah, all we can do is hope. Do you think when Pep leaves City he might inquire about the next Liverpool manager? Not really, buddy. There's been a lot of links. I've said far too often tonight. I apologise. There's been far too many links. Isn't it M? There's been lots of links to Juventus for Pep Guardiola over the last few weeks. All I can think of now is saying M. That's all I can think of. Did you see Arsene Wenger's comments about Anfield? Oh my god, just shut up. Just shut up, Craig. I did see a few of them. I actually seen him breaking down the game and the incidents. And I thought he was very good, actually. I think Arsene Wenger is very good as a pundit. Fuck trolls, said Stephen Richards. Fuck them indeed. If you could take any player from a relegated team, who would it be? Right, relegation. Huddersfield, nobody. Cardiff, probably nobody. Fulham, Ryan Sessegnon. Yeah, Ryan Sessegnon. Has to be Ryan Sessegnon. And on Ryan Sessegnon, actually, that leads me in rather nicely. Reports are suggesting that Liverpool have fallen behind Spurs in the race to sign Fulham's Ryan Sessegnon. I've spoken about him a couple of times on the stream, and I've told you guys about Spurs' interest in him. There's some Liverpool links in his family somewhere, I believe, but whoever gets that kid is going to get an exceptional footballer. Some people think of him as a left back, but he's not really. He's more of a left winger or a left attacking midfielder. If Spurs get him, it's a good piece of business because at his age, he's only going to get better and better. Do we need him? Maybe. How much would he cost? Probably 35, 40 million, maybe, something like that. But yet, the Spurs links I've been telling you about for a very long time. And when I come on here and I say reports suggest X, Y, and Z, I'm not pulling shit out of thin air. I just don't really want to give away who the papers are because I don't want to publicise them. If I take quotes from somewhere, then I try to give credit to the people that wrote it. But for this type of stuff, transfer news, I just grab as much information as I can and put it into the chat. Ryan Sessegnon, for me, excellent footballer. Definitely take him. If he ends up at Spurs, it'll be a good piece of business for them. Why was Elijah John's comment removed there? I think it's a fair comment. He said Mourinho won 2 trophies in 2 seasons and got the sack. I'm not looking for Klopp to be sacked, but there comes a time when a trophy has to be won. We aren't Everton. I think it's a fair enough comment. Yeah, I don't know why you've deleted his comments there, Gonads. I think they're fair comments. The same fan spotted doing that in the fountain, poured water over Barcelona local. What the fuck? Seriously, this guy's not a fan, he's a hooligan. Yes, anybody that acts that way is a scumbag. It's as simple as that. I don't care. I've had people try and say, oh, it's just lads being lads. Nah, it's not. It's people being dickheads. You respect the city that you're in. You have fun. You sing your songs like 99.9% of fans do. And you represent the club because that's what you do when you're there. When you're a fan, when you're going around in your Liverpool colours, you're representing the city, you're representing the club, and you're representing your entire fucking fan base. You don't go over and act like a dickhead. I'm sorry, there's just no defending it. Ferdinand can fuck off, said Stephen Richards. He can fuck right off to the director of football role, said Kev. Kev, glad to see that you're okay, mate. For anyone who doesn't know, Kev was in a 5-car pile-up yesterday on the motorway and he was car number 4. Car was totaled, but thankfully Kev is well and safe. But you got the night off work, as you said, mate, so you know there was a little plus to it, but I'm so glad to hear that you're okay. Can we talk about transfer news, said Scotty. Talk about whatever you want, buddy, it's your show. You guys let me know what you want to talk about. Chris Penfold Ivany, I always get this name wrong, mate, I'm so sorry. Said, hi Craig, task at Newcastle, but I think 2-0, got to bring Bobby back. 2-0's what I went for as well, Chris. So, you know, great minds think alike. I'm longing for a trophy, said Got Cool. I don't want a troll coming on having a go at Klopp because some other shit won a League Cup or an FA Cup. Look, fuck trolls. As Stephen Richards said a few minutes ago, fuck them. LFC needs better than Fulham kid Zaha, in my opinion. I don't know, mate, if you're underestimating Ryan Sessegnon, perhaps, or I'm struggling to come up with something here because he's a fucking good footballer, man. Mr. Smith, he's a very good footballer, and I think he might need a couple more years to progress. I mean, he didn't hit the heights in the Premier League that he hit in the Championship, but he's still a very good footballer. But I mean, I wouldn't mind Zaha either. Tony said nearly 13k already. Sweet, Craig. Yeah, thank you to everyone that's subscribing. Please do keep hitting that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. As you can see, we've just gone past 12,800 subscribers. I know I keep saying this in our first season is mad, but it is mad. I don't believe we are where we are. Sometimes I just pinch myself, honestly, and I just think, what the fuck is going on? How did this happen? How did we get to where we are, like with this amount of subs in the first year? But whatever, for whatever reason, people are tuning in. I like to think it's the comments in the chat by the subscribers. But thank you to everyone that has subscribed, and please do keep continuing to subscribe, because the more people we can get to chat to, the more Reds we can bring into our little community, then the more fun we can have. And I honestly, that's how I feel about this. Couldn't give a shit about the money. Should probably be mentioning the likes of Patreon and stuff more, talking about merchandise, but I don't really give a fuck about it, to be fair. I feel that if we're successful, if we move on as a channel, then all that stuff will come naturally, and we don't need to worry about it. We don't need to ram it down people's throats. Not saying other channels do. I mean, everybody runs them their own way, but for me, I just want to have fun and meet Reds. And if success comes with that for the channel, and we make a few quid for the channel along the way, and we can give away more stuff, or we can go on some more trips, then that's fucking brilliant. But first and foremost, it's about meeting Reds, and that's why we came on. That's why we set up the channel. What do you make of United's performance against City? Do you think the majority of their players were happy to lose and played shite on purpose? I don't think they played shite on purpose, Cahill. I just think they were shite on the day. Looking back on it, they just were shite. I mean, they were outplayed. They put up a bit of a fight, to be fair. I just think Manchester City are better than them, and it showed on the day. Should have had Firmino on last night. He was injured, Saj. I don't think he was available for the full 90. If he was, he would have been played. Obviously, Klopp spoke with the sports science team, the medical team, and they thought it might be a gamble to play him. Craig the Keogh stealer. Yeah, sorry, Stephen. I enjoyed them. I hope that helps. As I said, though, I need to figure out the luggage, because if I'm putting in a 6-pack of Keoghs into the luggage as well, I've only got a little gear bag that I'm allowed to take with me, so I'll hopefully get some over to you, Stephen. It's not about the money, man. I can go buying some more. That's alright. I almost felt guilty eating them, Stephen, but then I remembered Stephen would want me to be happy, so I just munched my ass through them. People haven't got a clue what we're talking about here, by the way, Stephen, sorry. I'm going over to Liverpool, as you know, with Connor on May the 12th, and you hear me shiting on about Keogh's crisps all the time on here. I promised Stephen Richards I'd bring him over some. I bought some to bring over to him, and then my fat ass ate them. So I'll hopefully get some more, mate, to get them over to you. Patrick here just saw Messi's punch. Absolute disgrace. It was nuts, wasn't it, Patrick? To jump into a player, even disregard the punch, just jumps into him and gets a free kick, because Fabinho apparently is supposed to just, I don't know, disappear, put on invisibility cloak and just fucking disappear. Camarissa is somebody I take off Cardiff. Who said that, actually? Sorry, I was scrolling through. Don't remember who said the comment, but whoever it was, thank you for your comment. I got an itchy finger. Don't, mate, honestly. Particularly on nights like tonight where it's our regulars in. There's no need to be removing the comments, really. It's only in match days, really, when the trolls are in, that you need to be kicking people out. The likes of people like that, I mean, he's irregular. So just leave him on, and if you don't agree with something, that's not really a reason to boot them out, to be fair, to remove their comments. Cam Vlog said, I hope everybody in the chat as well. How are you, Cam? Great to see you in, mate. Cahill Doyle said, what do you make of United's performance? I've just done that one, sorry. There's the Camarasa one, there we go. Oh, it was Douglas James Horn, thank you, mate. Who should we buy in the summer? Do you know what, let me put that to the chat, because everybody's heard my answer. I keep going back to the same thing. Timo Werner, De Ligt would be great, or Alderweireld would be great. But I'd love to know, if I could, 3 players, if I said to you right now, realistic players, now don't give me Messi, if you could go out tomorrow and sign 3 players for Liverpool to improve this squad next summer, who would they be? Any update on Keita? He's out for 4 weeks, Sonia, by the looks of it. The rest of the season he'll be gone for, unfortunately, which isn't great. Get 3 points from this game and momentum for the second leg against Barca, said Sharul. Got to get 3 points, buddy. And it's not going to be easy, because Newcastle's not an easy place to go at the best of times. 7:45 PM on a Saturday night. The Geordies are going to be up for it. The stadium's going to be rocking. We've just got to believe and get 3 points. Nothing less will suffice. Murder on Zidane's floor said, I just want Tuesday to arrive quickly. I hope we give Barca a fight and don't roll over. We can actually win if we play with passion and anger like Roma. We could do a Barca on Barca. It's not impossible. It is absolutely not impossible. It's all about keeping the clean sheet. If we can keep the clean sheet, nick even 1 goal in the first half, then anything is possible. Did you take off last night's watch along on YouTube? We had a bit of a technical hitch with it, buddy, so we had to take it down. So yes, I suppose technically it is taken down, but it was because of a glitch. Do you think that Banter FC could end up with more trophies than us this year is a nightmare? Fair play to them. I mean, I've no hate. If Arsenal go on and win the Europa League, fair fucks to them. You win. If you deserve the trophy, you win the trophy. Or if you win it, you deserve it. It's as simple as that. It's still a BTEC Cup, but it's a BTEC Cup that gets them into the Champions League next season if they win it. I don't think that tie's dead, by the way. 3-1, an away goal for Valencia. Having watched a good chunk of the game, Valencia were in that game, and over at the Mestalla, they still play at the Mestalla. I know they were talking about building a new stadium. Have they built that yet, or are they still at the Mestalla? It's going to be a difficult game. 2-0 win for Valencia puts them through. Chelsea, on the other hand, I feel like they're more or less there now. Haven't got a 1-1 draw away from home. Ryan Thomas said, hey, thanks for the Liverpool fun here this year. I've enjoyed it and listened to you like on the radio sometimes. Good discovery. Cheers from New York. Thank you so much, Ryan. Sometimes I know people are in the chat or watching that they don't come into the chat, and sometimes people like yourself may just pop in to say hello or give a quick comment, and it's great to know that you're enjoying the stuff, mate, so thank you. And it's great to know that you're in New York as well. I love knowing where people are from, so thank you for your support of the channel, Ryan, and thank you for everything, mate, and love back to you from Ireland. We can't underestimate how far we've come with this team. Next year will be our year, said Mark Henry. Oh, even saying that phrase makes me cringe. Is boxing your second favourite sport? Yes, it is, Dara. 100%. Can actually see Huddersfield potentially shocking United at the weekend. Stranger things have happened. On the boxing thing, actually, Dara, people often ask me, do I watch this channel on YouTube, or have I seen this fan channel or this football channel? I only really watch boxing stuff on YouTube. I watch IFL TV and a few other bits and pieces, but that's, yeah, it's mad. That's the only thing I really watch. I listen to the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, sometimes off YouTube, sometimes on my phone, on the app, but it's usually boxing videos if I'm on YouTube. Right, here we go. Time for these transfers now. People are giving me some names. And thank you for everyone that commented. I'm trying to scroll back up so I don't miss out on many of them. Oh wow, loads of people going with them. Nice. Brad Walker, I'm very good, thank you, buddy. Thank you for joining us. So Prez Mane's gone Zaha, Dybala and De Ligt. Liam Granby's gone Timo Werner, De Ligt and Fekir. Wilfred Zaha, De Ligt and Maddison from Leicester for Stephen Richards. Son, Pepe and Fekir for Sean W. I mean, all great choices so far. Pepe, Alderweireld and Rabiot for Murder on Zidane's floor. Dembele, Ziyech and De Ligt from Proper Skills. Mark Henry's gone Timo Werner, Dybala and De Ligt. Ryan Sessegnon, David Neres, Ruben Neves, De Ligt and Shea Adams for Dylan Gumman, excuse me, Dylan. Ericsson from Spurs, he only has a year left on his contract, good 40 to 50 million. I read something today, there's been lots of links for Christian Eriksen to Real Madrid, as you know. But I read something today that suggests that Real Madrid are happy to wait and let him run down his contract and try and get him on a free. I don't know if Spurs are going to let him walk away on a free. Daniel Levy doesn't seem like the type of man to turn down an opportunity to make a few quid if he has no choice, rather than see Christian Eriksen walk away for free. Billy Lar goes Fekir, Werner and Wan-Bissaka. Douglas James Horan, Timo Werner, Leon Bailey, Rabiot and Butland is back up to Alisson. I've said this before. I want Kevin Kelleher to get the backup position. Other words, what the fuck's the point of having an under 23s goalkeeper and a reserve keeper? We're just bringing these kids through and they're never going to get a chance. Players have more of a chance, obviously. Good players coming through have more of a chance, but goalkeepers is really difficult. And obviously I'm a little bit biased here because Kevin Kelleher's Irish, but I'd love to see him get the backup shirt. Jay Beckford said, Craig, why didn't they use VAR for the foul on Mane in the first half? I'm trying to find that out, mate. I don't know if in these situations the referee has to ask for it. My understanding of it is that he can be advised by the VAR officials to have a look at something if they think he's missed something, because it is there to clear up a clear and obvious error. So the referee put the whistle to his lips and I was fully expecting him to blow and point to the penalty spot, but he didn't. And we didn't even see or hear anything about VAR, so I don't know if they did or not, Jay. I'm trying to find that out, mate. Tom Boland's gone for Ericsson, De Ligt and Zaha. John Hamilton is in. John, how are you, buddy? LFC team says Felipe Anderson, De Ligt and Werner. De Ligt, Werner and Zaha for Scotty. Krishna said swap Zaha with Origi, Klein plus 30 million. Interesting. I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Nathaniel Klein as well in the summer, where he might end up. Did anybody see that Sky put up an 11 of free transfers this summer? Did anybody see that image? I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'm sure I could find. Actually, I haven't got my phone on me. Yeah, that free transfer 11. They actually had James Milner at left back in their team. Ben Rafferty reckons that Matip has been playing really well recently. Indeed, he has, Ben. He's been. I'd go further than that, mate. I think he's been exceptional. De Ligt, Zaha and Werner, said Shahrul. Werner, De Ligt, Hector is a backup to Robertson, which is a good shout for Cam Vlogs. We need a decent backup for our wing backs as well, said LFC Tim. We do. Lots of talk about the youngster from the under 18s and 23s. I always forget this kid's name. It's not Alfie. It's not Lewis. It's something. Adam Lewis. Is that his name? Adam Lewis, I think, is a young left back that's very highly thought of at the club. Elijah John said Kelleher does look good. He needs to progress. He's not the finished article by any stretch of the imagination, but he is a good goalkeeper. I was surprised they didn't use VAR for the foul on Sadio, said Gonads. We just touched on that one. So was I. We don't know. Maybe the referee did have something in his ear. Maybe we just missed it. Maybe it wasn't picked up. I don't know. Cape Town Muslim said LFC have been on a roller coaster. Everybody's downbeat now, but we're actually still in for the double. 2 games left. You've got to believe. You've got to believe. It is difficult. It does feel like we've been kicked in the nuts. There's no shaking. Like, I did not see us going to Barcelona and losing 3-0 last night. I just didn't see it happening. Even watching the game, I still don't know how the fuck it happened, because it wasn't a 3-0 game. But it was a 3-0 game. The scoreline doesn't lie. But the statistics show that we were well in that game. It's what makes it really tough. If you went over there and you were battered 3-0 with Barcelona and Messi played us off the park and we were hanging on for our lives, that's one thing, but that wasn't the case. Which I think maybe is why some people, myself included, still have a little bit of hope for the return leg. John Hamilton said De Ligt, João Felix and Werner or Maddison. Oh, I can imagine Boya's blood boiling now, all of us talking about Maddison. Dara said, I want to help you move over here, Craig, so you can fulfill your dreams. I'm a dual citizen, US and UK, and will be happy to sponsor you. That is I can't express the words of how lovely that is, Dara. I'd love to move to America, mate. You know that, as would my family. I don't know how serious your offer is, buddy. But, you know, AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com anytime, an email, and we can definitely have a chat. But thank you, even just for your kind words, Dara. Thank you. Barcelona complained about the referee before the game and that played a massive part. I did say that on the stream, Neil, and I do think you're right. They absolutely got in and moaned about Kuipers, I think the gentleman's name was, the referee the game last night, and he gave fucking nothing. It was horrible. Get Rabiot, said Harrison Lang. We spoke about him a little bit earlier, mate. He's been strongly linked to Liverpool. There's been rumours that his proposed move to Barcelona has fallen through. I just want to check. I think there's a couple more things in my notes I may have forgotten about. Oh, Sadio Mane has spoken out about rumours linking him with a move to Real Madrid and said that he's happy at Liverpool Football Club. He said, I think you guys write it, the rumours. I just read it with my friends. I respect the Spanish league. It's a good league with great players. But the Premier League is also a wonderful league. Everybody wants to play here. I have this opportunity at Liverpool, so I think it's cool. Which is great to hear. I'm so fucking happy that Sadio's happy here. And he wouldn't have signed his new contract if he wasn't. And people keep linking him with moves away. Mane, Firmino, Salah are going nowhere this summer. Absolutely fucking nowhere. So don't be fooled or conned by any of these transfer rumours that you see linking them away. They're not going anywhere. Absolutely nowhere. They're all happy here, tied down to new deals, and it's great to have them at the club. Adam Lewis, yes, thank you guys. That's how far behind I am. I'm trying to catch back up. Jay Beckford said, trust me, we've got 4 games left to go. John Hamilton said, I thought we'd have stuck with a 4-3-3 or 4-3-2-1. As good as Genie is, I don't think he's the right person to have fronting up the diamond. Well, from reading some interviews with Klopp, he suggested that the reason that we seen Gini Wijnaldum as a false 9 was for the pressing, that he wanted to press from the front, and that was the main reason that he was there, to try and replicate Firmino's pressing as much as possible. Now, he was never going to be able to replicate Firmino's fox in the box attitude, but that was the thought process behind it. I questioned last night that I couldn't understand why. At least today I was able to read up and find out why. I still don't think it was the right decision, but it's a decision, and it's a decision that he explained. I'm a police officer. Text, email, or call me, Craig. Thank you, Dara. Just send me an email, mate, at AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com, and we can definitely go back and forth. There's no way I'm becoming a cop, though, mate. I'm too unfit to be a cop. Can you imagine my fat ass trying to run around after people? VAR has to be in question here. Could spot Aguero offside, but not Messi committing ABH. It can't come in for stuff like that. As far as I'm aware, decisions like that can't be brought to the referee's attention. I think it can only be red cards. There's a certain amount of things that were released that are criteria for VAR. Offside decisions, red cards, penalty incidents perhaps. Every goal is reviewed as well. And there's a couple more that I just can't think of off the top of my head. Scotty said, I want to move to New York, Craig. Well, I want to move to Texas or Florida, Scotty. Or anywhere sunny. Any of the sunny states in America is where we want to go to. But Florida is definitely top of the list with Texas. Silly season has begun, said Douglas James Horn. It defo has, and it's not going to stop. But you know what? I've said it before. I'm a bit of a dirty boy for transfers. I'm a bit of a transfer whore. I love transfers, so you'll be getting lots of transfer rumours and gossip from me over the summer. Who's the 3 players you think we should move for, Craig? Werner. Who would I have in the 10? See, I want to say Dybala, but I don't think he's realistic. So Werner. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know about this attacking midfield position. It's very limited in options. I don't think Maddison's quite there yet to be thinking about him. I don't want Coutinho back. Fekir I'd have if the club were happy with his medical issues. Fekir's probably the one I'd like, but I just want to make sure that the club will be happy with his medical issues. Do you know what I mean? That's the only thing that's stopping me from saying instantly Nabil Fekir. After that, Another wide forward. I like young Sessegnon, but I think we might need somebody a bit more developed. Back up at centre back, so I'd take De Ligt or Alderweireld. So probably be a realistic window. Alderweireld, Timo Werner, and somebody in the 10, somebody of the ilk of Nabil Fekir, Paulo Dybala, somebody of that ilk, like a really top level footballer in the 10. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I could say De Ligt, and I'd love De Ligt, but I just think Alderweireld financially might make more sense. I say financially it might make more sense. Whatever you buy De Ligt for, you'll absolutely make a shit ton more if you sell him in 4 or 5 years. But I can see that the argument for spending 25 million for 3 years for Alderweireld and allowing Keita Hoover to develop, seeing how Joe Gomez progresses with his injuries as well. So drained after last night, did we use all of our luck in 2005, said Dave Kelser. I guess we'll find out on Tuesday, Dave. You never know, mate. Anything is possible. Craig, America is amazing. You would love it. I've been really open, Jack, since probably day one on the channel. My dream is to move my family to America. We've spoken about it, and it's mainly to do with mental health issues as well. I'm a different person in warm climates, and we've been to Florida for the last 5 or 6 years every year on holidays. Absolutely love it over there, and I just feel like a different human being. My wife, and my kids see the difference in me as well. So it is the dream to move there, but it's a massive thing to do when you've got school going kids. You've got to look at the what do you guys call it over there? Health insurance, the cost of health insurance over there as well. You've got visas to worry about. But you never know. You never know what might happen in life. Never say never. If opportunities present themselves, then I'm always happy to look at them. Dave Sweeney said, got to believe though, hey, we have Bobby fit, then we can go for it. The one team that could get it back is Liverpool. If Paul Pogba signed for Liverpool, would I be happy? No, I wouldn't. I just don't think he's a good fit for us. I'm not going to slag him off as a footballer, because I've seen him at Juventus and he was much better under Allegri than he has been at Manchester United. I just don't think he's right for Liverpool, but I'm not going to slag him off as a footballer. No need to run, Craig. That's why we have guns. Yeah, see, that's another thing. I don't want to carry a gun either. Not that type of person. I'd be too nervous with a gun. We should have got a penalty against Barca as well, said LFC Tim. How about Alabama? Yeah, certainly consider Alabama. Any of the warm states in America. Any of them. It just has to be warm most of the year. That's the only caveat for me moving to America. After that, everywhere is open. If there's anybody out there who has a radio station, wants to employ a bald Irish idiot, or wants to get somebody over there to do some work, then hit me up. But whatever happens, this channel's going nowhere. Whatever happens in life, wherever I go, or may end up or may not end up, this channel is going fucking nowhere, because this, outside of my family, is my number one priority. This is mine and Connor's baby. I hope I'm happy. Saturday, Plymouth could stay up and Liverpool could make Manchester City worried, said Cam Vlogs. I'm going to light so many candles in the church that we'll win the title. The fire brigade will be on standby, said Elijah John. João Felix will be a great number 10. 120 million again though, or something like that for him, mate, is the rumoured amount of money, which is a lot of wage for a young kid. Rumours gone around last January that we had a 60 million euro or 60 million pound, I can't remember which one it was, bid turned down by Benfica. Harry Daw said Fekir, Ziyech, Havertz, Bruno Fernandes, they're all attacking midfielders. Don't want Ziyech. Not sure about Kai Havertz. Not sure if he's quite there. Bruno Fernandes, I haven't seen enough of him to actually give an honest opinion. Fekir, yes, if his injuries can be put to one side. Leeds look like they blew it again. They've got the playoffs. They're definitely not, they're definitely not going up in automatic promotion. That's done. It's Norwich and Sheffield United. Congratulations to them. Right, guys, I'm going to do maybe 5 or 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to have to call it a night, because it's been a really, really busy 3 days. I did 4.5 hours streaming on Tuesday, 4.5 hours Wednesday. Then we did the stream with expressions earlier, and now this one as well, and my voice box is absolutely fucked. You know me, I'd love to come on and stay here and chat all night, but my voice is just really struggling. I'm going to do my best, Craig. Thank you, Dara. You're a really nice guy. Thank you. This is the best channel, said Charlie Boyd. Mate, thank you. All the love tonight. It's great. Jesus. Where's it all coming from? But I'll have it. I'll take more of it. Thank you very much. If John Moss is a ref, anything is possible, said Harrison Lang. Yeah, that is true. If he can get around the pitch, then anything is possible. Craig would fit in so well with the California lifestyle. Is it wrong that when you wrote that, mate, that California Girls, that song came into my head? I don't know why. I don't know why California Love didn't come into my head. I don't know why that song came into my head. I really want to move to Austin, Texas, which is the town that we looked at, Ben. That is probably the most European place I could find in America. Austin. Definitely a town that's expanded, and there's plenty of opportunities there, particularly in the tech field, which isn't me, by the way. What about a job on Radio Gaga? I mean, I am Gaga, Stephen, so I could definitely work on Radio Gaga. I love that, Craig. This sounds amazing. I don't want it to go anywhere. It's not, mate. No matter, I've always said that to Connor as well. Any work opportunities or anything that have come in, I've always had to make sure, even if it's little bits or clips, and I've turned down work. I've turned down a couple of radio slots. I've turned down work with digital radio. It just isn't the right fit. It has to be the right fit, and it has to allow me to run this channel. No channel, no job. This channel means too much to me. You guys mean too much to me. I mean, I feel like I've gotten to know, not each and every one of you, because some of you have been a little bit newer, but there's certainly hundreds and hundreds of you guys that I feel like I've really gotten to know over the last year. And my night just feels empty if I'm not on here having a chat with people, because I tend to come on here around the time that my wife puts her son to bed. My daughter's doing what teenagers do. She's on her phone in her bedroom, chatting with her friends or whatever. And I'm just usually sitting downstairs anyway, watching TV or watching stuff on YouTube. So when the channel started and I was able to come on here and talk to everybody and meet Reds from around the world, it lifted me up. It really did it. So it's made a massive plus in my life. And to be able to do the little bits like those 888 videos and get invited over to London for some filming, I never thought at 37 years of age I'd be on YouTube. I never thought I'd be getting invited over to London to film stuff for a betting company and things like that. That's more than I could ever have hoped for. And you guys gave me that opportunity. So again, thank you. Lots of love. Non-zero, how are you, buddy? Last shout out, guys, before I do 5 more minutes or so and head off. If you're new to the stream, thank you for coming in. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do hit that subscribe button as well and drop a like on the stream. We have a really good ratio of likes on the streams, which is brilliant. So thank you to everyone that does take a second to hit that thumbs up button. I hope you enjoyed Expressions earlier on today, by the way. He is such a good lad. I'm going to get Expressions on every time we play Spurs now, hopefully. If he's available, of course, we'll do a preview with him or maybe a review with him. You see, and he's a good guy. He's so much fun. If he doesn't make you smile, I give up. Honestly, because I was smiling afterwards. My wife watched the stream. She thinks he's hilarious as well. He's just a really nice, good, down-to-earth dude. So if you haven't watched it, it's only about 20-21 minutes. We recorded it earlier on. It's on the channel now. It's up there and it's live. Please do take a second to give it a watch. And of course, subscribe to the guy's channel, because whether you're a fan of Spurs or not, that guy is just funny. He's a good lad. He knows his stuff. He's worth a watch. He records all his stuff. He's not like our channel. He doesn't do watch-alongs or anything like that. He goes to games. He records from the stands. He records his little match day blogs. Definitely worth a follow. Yeah, just check him out, because I absolutely knew the second I spoke to him over in England that I was going to get on with him, and ever since then we've kept in contact, and it is an absolute pleasure to have gotten to know him a little bit, even just a little bit. You know why you got unmodded, Presmana. You had a conversation with Brian earlier on about it, mate. Brian is taking care of the mods for me, so I trust whatever Brian says, but that doesn't mean to say, Pres, mate, that you can't get it back soon. I mean, don't think of... You know we love you, Pres. I mean, I don't want you to take it the wrong way, mate, or any of them. I just trust what Brian has said to me, because I know Brian, and Brian's doing me a massive favour by looking after all the mods. But don't take it personally, mate. You're still a value part of the channel, and you can get it back soon. So I hope that's okay, mate, but I don't know what else to say. Watched the Barca game with you and I totally reacted the same as you did. The ref was terrible, said non-zero. Joanne, thank you for the sub count as well. It's class. Brian is the leader of the mods union. It kind of is, yeah. I did ask him to do that for me because as much as I can't keep track of what's going on in the chat and the mods do that for me, I also need somebody to keep an eye on the mods because sometimes they might need a little bit of help, sometimes they might be a little bit trigger happy, and some people feel like they can be treated harshly at times. So it's just trying to find that balance to keep everybody happy because that's all we want to do on here is keep everybody happy. Andre Mariner is the referee for the Newcastle game. Thank you, Elijah John, for that one. He's not the worst of them, to be fair, Mariner. I don't know how I feel though. Saturday, 7:45 PM. Are we liking that for a kick-off time? One thing you can be certain of is the Geordies will be up for it. They're a great bunch at the best of times, so I've no doubt that St James's Park will be rocking on Saturday night. But it's all about getting the 3 points, really, isn't it? We'll hit 13k on Saturday, said non-zero. We won't be too far off, buddy. Be nice to see how far we can get to before the season finishes. Wherever we get to. Every single subscriber from now was just a massive bonus because hitting 10k seemed like the biggest thing in the world to me at the time. And to have gone a few thousand past that is class. Craig and Expressions Breast Bromance on YouTube. Isn't it nice though to actually have something like that? Maybe I'm just being a bit naive here, but isn't it nice to be able to do things like that and have a bit of fun rather than just it being all beef and aggro? Because I've noticed on YouTube there's a lot of people that don't like each other, and there's a lot of beef videos and a lot of back and forth and a lot of diss stuff, and that's fun. I mean, I watch it at times and it's fun, but it's nice to be nice to people as well and meet nice people like Expressions or Mark Goldbridge, and that's been another one of the highlights for me on the channel, that I've got to have these chats with Mark and Expressions and meet guys like Stephen and Adam and other people as well. United stand grew the most during the summer. Yeah, don't underestimate how good a summer can be for subscribers as well. People love transfer news, and that's why I want to, and as I said, I'm a transfer whore. I absolutely love talking transfers, so I think we should be able to keep bringing you guys some good content throughout the summer. We'll have the pre-season games as well. We'll do watch-alongs for all of those as always. Look, guys, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm absolutely shattered. My voice is wrecked. I will be back tomorrow at 9:45 as always, and we'll have another look ahead to the Newcastle game and see if there's any other bits and pieces news-wise throughout the day. And then it'll be Saturday. We'll have a watch-along of the game. We'll have our post-match show as always. So we'll be going from 7:15 on Saturday right through till probably 11:30. So again, a long day's worth of content on Saturday. Again, lots of love to everybody that came in. If you're new, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you're a regular, you know we love you, and thank you for your support. Please do drop a like on the stream, and I will say, look after your families, tell your loved ones that you love them, and up the motherfucking Reds.